Alumilite resin, and I'm going to cast it into some vases or some blanks that will end up being vases. As you can see here, I have my molds. They're 4 inches in diameter, 8 inches tall, and they are stacked full of cherry and maple. Little blanks that I had already cut up for this exact purpose. So what I'm going to do now, alright, so I went ahead and poured them all out. We're up to about 82 degrees right now. And all of them, 81.6, 81, we're right there at 82. So what we're going to do is go ahead and mix them up with our colors. Now, the colors I'm using is this eye candy pigments. I really like these. And I'm using some ink dyes, as well as an Alumilite translucent. I really like these Alumilite translucents too. They work really well. Don't put them in too thick because they are not as much transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and get these mixed up so I can get my swirl on. Got some pearl I'm going to add. Now this seems to be heavier, this white, than all the rest. I don't know why that is, but it seems to be a little bit more dense. Likes to fall, so you got to make sure that you really got your resin warmed up. And what I tend to do with my resins is my colors. Is I like to pour my translucents more towards the top, and that way when I make the bottom more dark and the vase comes up to the top and it's hollowed out, it gives more of a translucent on the top of the vase. I'm going to go ahead and mix these up. I'm going to leave one with no color for right now. You got to thoroughly mix these for about 2 to 3 minutes. And really get the color into it and mix it all up. Make sure you get all these powders broken up. I'll bring it back after we get them all mixed up. I don't think anybody wants to sit here and watch me mix these things. I don't want to sit here and watch me mix these things. Alright, so they're all mixed in right now. They're running about 92 degrees. 93, 92, 91, 92 degrees. So we're going to start pouring about, when we get to about 100 to 105. And so what I'll end up doing is I'll end up pouring these right over top of my molds, and let the heavier colors, or the darker colors, or non-see-through stuff, go to the bottom, and I'll mix those by how I pour them. And then I'll start to I'll work with these 3 colors mainly at the bottom, and then I'll start bringing my translucent colors in up towards the top, so it'll give it a more translucent effect on the top of it, where I'm going to hollow it out even more in the vase. And I'll bring it back when it's about 100 degrees. Alright, so I've added some tape to the sides of my molds because I'm going to put liquid in it and the wood's going to float. So I'll be able to tape it down and still be able to add the rest of it, but I want to be able to get it to swirl while I'm doing this. I've also added took some out of this, and I had some true blue translucent from Alumilite up on the shelf that I didn't see, and I'm going to add that to this one here and mixed it with that one there, and just to get a difference in color. Alright, so another thing to note, that your alcohol dyes seem to heat up a lot faster than your powders. So all of them are out of the same container, mixed the same amount of time. Those are running about 94. That one's a little warmer. Okay, so that's right at 100. That's 103. So they heat up just a little bit faster. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but they do. Maybe it thins the blood. Alright, so they're right at 100 degrees. We're fixing to start pouring. I'm going to start pouring some of these here. Make sure you can see this on the camera. Alright, so I'm just going to pour straight over top of the wood. When you pour this down in there, you're getting kind of a swirl effect just by pouring it in there, because some of it's going to stay up at the top as it holds in the mold. I think it's about time. Let me get some of this stuff down in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them down in the pressure pot, and I'll finish filling them from there. So I'll take you over there. Alright, so I got them down in the pressure pot. I'm going to throw some more resin in there. Just pull it the top as I possibly can. And what I'm probably going to do is I'll turn the pressure pot on and let this go down a little bit, because it's going to find its holes. It's very good at that. And I want it to be full when I get done. So that wasn't all thumbs today. Alright, so I said I was going to do a demolding. I got a little ahead of myself. And I've already cut it open down the side. That's how I get them out of the molds. These are single-use molds. Like I said, they're like 83 cents. And so all we're going to do is we're going to pop it loose. And if you remember, my translucent colors were more towards the top, and the darker colors, thicker colors, were on the bottom. And you can see that is evident on there. You can see the actual cut that I used. I used my knife to scar the sides of it to break it loose. So you can kind of see if we can get this in the translucent colors are at the top, so those will be easier to see. Now what you see on the outside is not necessarily what you'll see inside the mold, because it kind of coats. So as the inside pours, it swirls, and you'll see that when I turn it. I guess I will do a video of this turning it as well. I don't know if I'll put it in this, but because I'm afraid it might get a little too long. I wanted to show exactly how it is that I cast these blanks. These are for my vertical pieces, vertical vases that I do. I also do some horizontal stuff. It's more of a bigger blanks that I put into it, and they're angled, so therefore you get the figuring in the center more than you do on the tops and bottoms. So that's it so far. I'm actually going to put this on the lathe today and start turning it. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe.